So there's a few different variants of Delver. Now we've got a few floating around, but Lachlan? What's your read on the Grixis iteration of this deck?
So the difference mainly here is as compared to our blue-red Delver against this deck, not just 2 rounds ago, is that Sean has a little bit more interaction in the form of Thoughtseize. So he's able to have a look at what's going on over Scott McPherson's side of the equation and maybe have a little bit more interaction.
Yeah,
and Scott McPherson's leading here on the play, and we can have a look at that hand. He's got that Duress, he's got that Dark Depths, and he's got that Hexmage.
Ooh,
He's got double Duress.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
That's feeling pretty good from Scott. I'm pretty happy with that.
This is super good. So I think what would you take here?
Oh, now this is interesting because like most times you just snap that brainstorm, right? You just try and keep as much perfect information as possible. Stifle's interesting.
It is. It does stop the Vampire Hexmage, but I think I agree with Scott here. He's got another Duress to back it up, so he can take that Stifle if he wants, and just taking out that brainstorm, making sure that Sean can't sculpt his hand, and if he draws a Daze, that's okay. He's got a second land. If he draws a Force of Will, that doesn't matter because he's pitching that Stifle.
Yep. Now, so he just drew that Delver of Secrets, opting to play it immediately, not keeping anything secret from Scott.
I think the only option he has was either playing that Death Ride out or playing that Delver, and I think he's just going to rely on that Delver blind flipping, turning into a flyer, maybe buying him some time by blocking, or just getting the aggro on ASAP.
I honestly think holding up a force, representing a force might be where you want to be. I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter here because we're seeing the second Duress immediately.
Well, he's still technically representing a force, right? Because he has one unknown card and he didn't play it.
Okay, sure.
So Scott knew about all the cards in Sean's hand except for the Ponder that he drew for his turn.
Okay, of course.
So he's still technically representing force and technically Daze. But Daze not being that relevant with Scott adding an additional land to his battlefield.
Okay, sure. And just as you've prophesized, the blind flip of the Delver happened.
Yeah,
and
that was excellent.
Yeah.
That was exactly what Sean wanted. Getting a cantrip there, maybe not as good as drawing a Stifle, but here we see him looking at I think that's a Spell Snare, perhaps.
It was
maybe another Ponder.
Yeah, so I think it was a Ponder and Flooded Strand. Oh no, Spell Snare. Interesting. Okay.
So he has a Wasteland.
I really like Wasteland here, right?
Yeah, he can draw that Wasteland and put it into play, right? And that gives him a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to interact with Scott's plan.
Wonderful, yeah.
I think the problem here is the rest of his cards are just awful. They're just not very good. The Fetch Land lets him shuffle away the other card he doesn't want. But I think he's deeply considering his lines here.
Yeah. Sean, being an actual wizard, just making sure that he uses his powers correctly we're seeing possibly that Wasteland immediately. Okay, going straight for the Flood Strand, possibly.
That's interesting because if I were Scott here, I might consider...
just going for it.
Yeah, just going for it.
Now, he doesn't know that he had that Spell Snare, or does he?
No.
Okay, so Scott doesn't know he has Spell Snare. Very relevant for Vampire Hexmage.
It is very relevant for Vampire Hexmage.
We also still have that Daze, right?
I think I don't like Scott's... actually, I don't know. Scott...
getting rid of that Wasteland.
Well, yeah, Sean getting rid of the Wasteland, but I was just thinking about from the perspective of Scott immediately playing that Dark Depths to show that he did have the combo rather than just playing the Hexmage... and maybe Sean doesn't interact with it because he's like whatever, and then he plays the Dark Depths. But perhaps he's just being super careful, not wanting to get kind of interacted with by Bolt. Maybe he doesn't realize that he can just sack it in response. Like Sean can't bolt it before he can play the Dark Depths kind of thing. Yeah. And Sean just immediately firing off that Wasteland, which is just going to punish him so badly here.
Oh, here we go. So this is the just showing off the absolute raw power of Turbo Depths. Like
The turbo side, right?
yeah, that's right. So here's the fast bit. So look, you can waste it if you want, but I might just go and get another one. If that's all right
I don't know. Leaving that wasteland in play just gives him access to so much tempo. Like in terms of like Scott can't act with that wasteland in play.
Yeah.
He can't execute his combo.
Yep. He can't
It just
play.
can't happen.
He can't play. I suppose he could play the Thespian stage, right? And then in response to the Wasteland activation, create Marilage.
Yes, but from Sean's perspective, that's never going to come up. And we see someone in the chat, Fiomenico, having a reaction to Scott's mismatched duresses, and allegedly that's so if they get surgical, your opponent will miss them because they're looking for the same art. That's a quote from Scott, allegedly. So,
Very impressive. Look,
I mean, like it's an aggressive rhetoric, and
I
you
like
gotta
it.
get those edges.
I like it.
Yeah, I know you would like it. You would like it.
For those of you who don't know, I'm in the process of mismatching my red-black reanimated deck almost entirely. So I've done it to the point where nearly every deck is nearly every card is mismatched, but look, some of them aren't. Now, Lachlan, word on the street is that you're deeply disappointed with this action.
Yes. Look, I mean, like, I think you'll probably gain more edge by just like having all your cards matching. So if your opponent sees your hand, you don't have to worry about which duress do they see, blah blah blah, like that kind of thing. But
you're not thinking about the tilt factor, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm not really taking into account. So Sean here executing his game plan. He's got a flip Delver. He's attacking. He's going to continue to do that until Scott's dead.
Yep.
Scott has a Thoughtseize and a Sylvan Scrying in his hand.
Yep, correct.
Which I believe is also all mismatched. So just really milking those surgical.
Yeah. I'm liking this this Scott fellow more and more. The more cards that I see,
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if the surgical tactic is as good when your whole deck is mismatched, possibly because your opponent might be so flustered they can't choose anything.
They're just bewildered. Yeah, they end up surgicaling their own hand, basically. Like,
oh dear.
So Scott's on basically a 3-turn clock here.
Yeah. So we
However, Scott has a 1-turn clock in the form of making Marilage next turn.
Yeah.
And attacking with it.
So with the, as we mentioned before, with the keeping Wasteland up, now here we're sort of seeing Sean get punished by it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think that Wasteland was far too aggressive.
Yeah.
Far too aggressive.
But he snapped off that spell snare almost immediately as well. I mean, that was the correct play.
Yep.
But we definitely sort of got a little little view into what Sean is thinking, where he's just saying, I need to counter this stuff as quickly as possible and as hard as possible. So where he could sort of think about whether or not he wanted to force it or whether or not he was going to spell snare it, like the opportunity was there.
Seeing what Sean has in hand, I think he has a lightning bolt that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not quite sure what that other card is. That's Daze?
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
That's not good.
we're not feeling good at the moment.
I don't know why he didn't Daze that Sylvan Scrying. Maybe you just assumed, like I did when I first started, that he must not have had it.
Look,
I guess
it was mismatched.
Yeah, mismatch strikes again. You know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Scott really getting all that value.
And you can see Scott demonstrating the fact that he's an experienced player with this archetype, making that Married Liege in his own turn, not letting Sean draw and play a Wasteland.
Yeah.
And I think Sean would have very much benefited from having a Wasteland in play because he, like from Scott's perspective, he can't make that Married Liege while the Wasteland is in play.
Yeah. It's also possibly known by a lot of people who sort of research the metagame and stuff like that, that once there's a big creature on the battlefield, Grixis Delver can't do a whole lot about it. You know, they've got pushes, they've got bolts, but I think Scott's
very, very close to dead here. Like he almost cast that Thoughtseize, then he had a quick look-see at the life totals and decided, nah.
Yeah, it doesn't
I will not choose death today.
Yeah, death not being the ideal choice.
Yeah.
Now
Sean thinking very carefully about whether he wants to crack that Flutter Strand, and
he just wants to. I mean, what can you do, right? You
just draw a bolt.
Bolt.
You also have the out of
Give it to me.
getting a tropical island and gaining life.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
So he would be able to survive a hit from Maritage and still be able to have more outs. But now he's on 18. He can't do that.
Yeah. So we see Scott on 3 now. Did Sean play that bolt? Because he had a bolt in his hand, right?
Yes. Yeah. He bolted the face.
Okay.
I believe,
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, that it seems reasonable. All he's got to do is draw that bolt.
He has Daze and a tropical island in hand, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know whether I like the fetching here, putting himself dead to Maritage even through a life gain. So Rusty Squirrel says, why not gain 2 life and kill him? I'm not really sure.
I didn't have the black mana.
What? No, he didn't have the green mana.
Sure.
Is specific. See, his lands were a Underground Sea, a Volcanic Island, and a Flooded Strand. So whilst he could fetch a Tropical Island, it would put him to 18. I'm not sure why he didn't play the Tropical Island from his hand and gain 2 life. Maybe he just didn't really think of that line. Did he have a creature in the graveyard? Was there a creature in the graveyard?
Yeah,
there was a Vampire Hexmage, right?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
the Delver was after he blocked, but there was a Hexmage in an opponent's graveyard.
Sure.
Maybe just like missing a quick scan of his opponent's graveyard there to really see.
Yeah, it's definitely hard once you're up against that Maritage token. Like
your game just becomes so insular.
Yeah.
And we see Scott McPherson affecting the exact same board plan against Grixis Delver as he had against Blue Red Delver. Bring in the Deeds for any Pithing Needles, bring in the Abrupt Decays for Pithing Needles, and one Not of This World. Yeah,
Not of This World. I'm not exactly liking it for this matchup. I mean, so for those who don't know, it's a 7 mana. What set did it come from?
It's a tribal instant from Rise of Eldrazi.
Yeah, there we go.
Tribal instant Eldrazi, to be specific. If it targets a creature with power 7 or greater, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it costs 7 colorless, and it counters an ability or spell that targets that creature.
Yeah, sure. So obviously, just for the Hex Mage, just keeping it on board.
The Maritage, you mean?
Maritage.
Yeah.
Not the Hex Mage.
It would be spicy to cast it targeting the Hex Mage. You would need that 7 mana. We see double Submerge, double Surgical Extraction coming from Sean's board. So he's boarding out all these lightning bolts. He's not interested in burning Scott out.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely boarding out that Dismember, making Maritage a 15-15. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Not great. Now,
he's got out all of those Fatal Pushes. We have more Thoughtseize. Oh, Ancient Grudge.
Yeah,
what do you think the Ancient Grudge is for? Like just a Crucible? A Crucible World?
I mean, I suppose so. Or, like, he might be just thinking ahead. Like, he could possibly get the Deed.
Ancient Grudge. Artifact only.
Oh, Artifact only, of course.
Yeah.
Well, here's Pithing Needle. A lot of.
I know. I noticed Scott has a main deck Pithing Needle.
Yeah, so this is It could be adjusted for meta, but I know we have a Canberra player who has 2 Pithing Needles main and 2 in board just for the
Wasteland, right?
Just for the Wasteland, yeah, exactly. And
does Grixis play Wasteland? Yeah, it does. Yeah, we just saw him get Wasteland. And
so possibly just trying to break that so he can Wasteland. Possibly just presenting Wasteland, like not presenting it, just having it as a threat on board, like could be good. We have seen as well in a couple of decks having the opting to play the Fastland from
Blooming Marsh, right? Instead of Bayous to play against Submerge, right?
Very interesting.
Very cool. All right. So we've been informed that Sean is very aware of the fact that he could have played that drop and gained that life and crashed back in with the Delver to take that one.
Yeah, but hindsight is sometimes 20/20.
Yeah, and sometimes it is also indestructible flying in called Maritage, right?
That's right. Now,
Grizzlybrand Draw 7 says that Turn 1 Expedition map might be a target for the Ancient Grudge.
Of course. Good pickup.
A narrow target if ever I've seen one.
I mean, look, it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
When you've got that acceleration provided by Deathrite Shaman.
Look, he's on the play, right? So he goes land, go. He goes expedition, go. And then Ancient Grudge, we're there.
Yeah. Nilo82 brings up that Crucible Worlds is probably a more relevant target.
Look, We approve of the narrow targets.
Yeah. Maybe
it's possibly just a card that's just better than Angler or like better than.
Yeah, look, I mean, like Angler is a card. It's kind of slow and clunky. Maybe like it's just not fast enough.
Yeah.
Or we see Scott McPherson with a bunch of combo pieces in hand, a bunch of lands, crop rotation, expedition map, dark depths, pretty standard. Sean leading with that good turn 1 Delver. Let's see if we can get some flip going. Ooh, Duress off the top. That's what he wants to see. That's a nice one.
Is this your favorite out of Duress?
I'm actually a big fan of the 7th edition.
Okay.
Yeah. It has that real good just some guy yelling.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm about, really.
Just some guy yelling.
Come on.
Here we go, Sean. I believe in you.
Flip. Ooh, that doesn't look like a flip to me.
Or possibly just choosing not to reveal. No, we see. I think there's possibly
it's a Volk, right?
It's a Volk,
yeah.
Sure.
He's got Foster Storm and 100 lands.
Yep. Oh no, he's got Stifle as well.
No, it's in the bin. Dressed.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Very unfortunate. All right. Well, that's fine. You swing with a 1/1, right?
Now Scott knows that Sean didn't draw a land for turn.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, didn't draw a spell for turn.
A spell, yep.
It was probably a land, because if it was a creature, it'd be in play.
Yep.
Creatures cost 1.
Oh, man. Here we go. Where's that Ancient Grudge? Look, so...
And
we see crop rotation as well.
Yeah, Scott knows about that Foster Storm, which makes it just so easy to play around.
Yeah,
just so easy. It's so easy.
He possibly wouldn't want to take his time, though, right? So he knows what's in Sean's hand at the moment.
Ooh, that's another awkward reveal for Sean.
Yeah.
Spell Pierce and Foster Storm, meaning that Scott, he's not going to play into them. He's just going to play his land.
Yep.
And Sean correctly assessing here that Spell Pierce, not a card he wants. The kings he care about, they're already in play.
Yep, that's
what he wants here, Wasteland. Wasteland, he wants Stifle.
I mean, do you not keep it like just in case? Like
no, your opponent knows about it. Your opponent knows about Foster Storm. Like they already know about Foster Storm, so they're already going to play around mana-based counter spells. And as I said, the things he cares about, they're already on the battlefield. Like
also, if he just has that Hex Mage, then
he's got that Ancient Grudge.
We're gonna see it.
We're gonna see it. He's gonna blow up the map. Oh my god. How narrow can you get?
We did it.
Taste it.
We did it.
Look. Grizzlebrand, draw 7 with the prediction. Cold shot. Oh, what a good one.
Oh my gosh.
I think if anything, Scott McPherson has the Ancient Grudge right now. My goodness. All right, run around addresses off the top.
Yep. Here we go.
That's real bad news for Sean.
Yeah, that's
just so bad.
Which is unfortunate because the best card is Ancient Grudge and it's already out of his hand.
Yeah. There's not a lot for him to think about here, right?
You just Foster Storm it, right? Like surely to preserve information.
Yeah. Yep.
But he has to fetch. Oh, he's got another Flood Chain in hand.
He's got another fetch in hand.
I would possibly. Oh, okay.
I think he just values the life point maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Just like it's so bad because now Scott can just do whatever he wants. Like yeah. But
this is
he's still not able to combo yet.
Yes, he can. Well, this is
he doesn't have
end of turn crop rotation
for the Thespian stage. Sure, but he needs he's
like a whole turn. Yeah. He's a couple of turns behind because he has to get that crop rotation.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
But now he knows there's just a Delver, so the coast is clear.
Mm-hmm.
As clear as it can be, I guess.
Yeah, so
I think he's just leaving that fetch in play to just if he draws a Delver, he can kind of scry almost.
Sure.
Yep.
Now
end of turn crop rotation, putting that Thespian stage into play.
Seems reasonable.
Here's a Verdant Catacombs in hand, I believe.
Okay. Sean definitely just going to rip that Submerge wheel.
Urborg.
Oh man,
not too bad.
It's a good one.
All
right, so
it means he can keep a mana up. He can keep that green up for whatever reason. Now, yeah.
You're just doing it immediately? Sure.
Yeah.
Hedges bets.
Oh my god. And no, that doesn't really work. But he could crop rotate right now to play around Submerge, but he has Not of This World, right? So yeah, he's
just do that instead.
He's pretty protected.
Yeah. Now
he's definitely not going to draw this Thoughts is Discern. I can't see a world in which he doesn't correct this fetch.
Well, I mean, then he doesn't have any fetches left. Look.
I do like fetch lands. Fetch lands. Is there a Ghost Quarter in Scott McPherson's hand? I assume that's just a Wasteland in this matchup.
Yeah.
Surely the Grixis deck doesn't play any basics.
That's what makes some of the, like, when you get Blood Mooned, like, Grixis Delver can just get absolutely reamed by cards like Blood Moon, you know, just such a versatile, beautiful, like, elegant deck, the Grixis Delver, and then just, like, someone slams down Lotus Petal, Badlands, Blood Moon, and then poor Grixis Delver is not feeling pretty good.
You can cast their red spells, right?
Yeah.
They got some bolts.
Yeah, you got bolts. Sure.
So Sean's only out here is, he draws Submerge. Oh,
I told you. What did I say?
So good.
Actual wizard.
But,
Actual wizard.
Just a real shame because you know what Submerges? It's not of this world.
Not
That's
of
what
this
Marilage is. The only thing here saving Sean from immediately dying is the fact these insectile aerations, they're in the sky.
Now,
I'm not sure the Grixis Delver deck can really pull out a miracle prowess turn like we saw from the blue-red Delver player.
Now, I really like the
get that good double submerge. He's got another turn. He's got another turn.
We can see it. Pithing Needle off the top.
Ooh.
Naming Flutterstrand. Do it.
Just for the BM, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, here we go. Seeing a swing, block, easy.
Easy block. Decide not to die.
Yep.
Not today.
Yeah, seems pretty good. Now, what do you Pithing Needle name? What do you name?
Jace the Mind Sculptor would probably be the most reasonable name.
Grixis, 1 Jace, 2 Jace mainboard?
Oh, that's actually that Pajuka Bog that happened last time was very, very relevant here because he doesn't have that great Ancient Grudge anymore. It's exiled.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to see that flashback grudge.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
No more expedition maps getting destroyed.
Not today.
Ooh. Hardcast forced? Yeah, sure.
I mean, why not? You're not going to do anything else with it, right?
Yeah.
The only thing you could do is like maybe put it back with a Brainstorm. But yeah.
Seems very reasonable to just use it now that you have 5 mana open. Cast Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize myself.
Now I love the now Scott taking it out. That was 2-0, right?
Yep.
Unfortunate.
Fast, quick games.
Very fast. Really putting the turbo and turbo depths.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, like, I really have a soft spot for these turbo depths because of the theatrical performance of Thespian Stage being so good that they accidentally turn into a 2020
2020,
Kraken.
Yep.
That's some real flavor right there.
Yeah, Thespian Stage is one of my favorite named cards of Magic.
Yeah, for sure. So that was match 4.
Yeah,
feeling pretty good about it.
Quick one, yeah. Double turbo deaths to me. It's always good to get a good long look at a deck, even if that look is only a short couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, you only need to see the relevant cards, right? You see,
see that good
Dark
Marilage,
Depths, and then Marilage, and you know.
Yeah.
We used to have our very own Brandon Owen. Shout out to Brandon Owen.
Yep.
He was playing a different sort of build of it. It was a blue-black land still version with just the win con of having
Depth
a 2020
still.
Depth still.
Yeah, that's a name. That's a name.
It is
Patent
definitely.
pending.
What's that?
Patent pending.
Patent pending. We're all watching you guys. Just quickly before I forget, we are of CBR MTG, the YouTube channel now.
Yeah, youtube.com/CBRMTG, fortnightly legacy videos with commentary afterwards.
That's it. And we attempt to get them up within 3 months, which is fantastic timing.
Yeah.
Now, thank you so much, Good Games. Good Games in Dandenong. General Games? Oh my god. That's very unfortunate.
That's
never
not
coming back. Never coming
That's not the name of the store, buddy.
Oh dear. All right. And it's written there. Yeah, sure.
General Games.
No thank you to Good Games.
Yeah.
Never. Very much
Slops
thank
to
you.
Good Games, props to General Games. That's the way to go.
Yeah, anyway, yes. Thank you so much, General Games, for hosting us tonight and letting us show off our commentary skills.
Even though we'll never be back, thanks.
Yes. Sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, just one of those things, I guess.
Thank you very much.